Setting bail for George Floyd's murderer. Setting bail for George Floyd's murderer. I am disgusted at this point. I am disgusted because of the simple fact that, you know, it doesn't matter what white supremacy does. They will always find the support. This must be like the fifth or seventh time that a situation has happened when a officer was clearly guilty of murder, kneeled on this man's neck for 10 minutes straight. It was obvious to all that this man is guilty. Yet you still have certain people in this country that would put up $1 million to set this man free so that he can walk the streets and possibly do it again. But then, when people like me speak up or look for help to do something productive, get some type of support for the youth, try to get any kind of finances, you can't find one person to donate $10. Get it? $1 million to free a murderer, but not $10 to save the lives of those youth dying in the street each and every day. Am I upset? Beyond upset. Am I surprised? Never surprised. Because I've watched this situation take course over and over and over and over again. But you know what I do get upset about? I get upset when my people, and when I mean my people, I mean people in my condition who are going through the things that my people are going through, economically, systematically, and politically. If you're going through what I'm going through and my kids are going through, then I consider you my people. If you're not part of the struggle, meaning you're not being treated differently, you're not being treated in court differently because of your race, if you're not being abused by this system, then I can't claim you as my people. I might claim you as human. We're all human beings, God's creation. I can do all of that. But my people speak not by color, but by the situation that we go through in this country. So you could take offense to that, but you're not going through what I'm going through. So be offended. You know what was amazing is we worry about people's feelings so much. But the thing that kills me is that you worried about the way somebody feels, but you're not concerned about the way you're living. You're not concerned by the way you're living your life, but you're concerned about the way people feel about your life. Somebody's offended. You offended by the fact that I'm being abused and I'm speaking up about it? They're offended? You get what I'm saying? It's the mentality. I'm more offended by being called a nigga than actually living like a nigga or being treated like a nigga. You know what it is to be treated like a nigga? They don't have to say you a nigga. But if all the laws make your condition to where you live your life as a nigger, and I say with the strong ER, not nigga, nigger, that's worse than being called the nigga, because being called the nigga doesn't have any power. You're being treated like a nigga, being forced to live like a nigga. That's powerful. And that's what's wrong with our people. We get offended about the wrong things. I don't want to, you can say nigga all day long. Just don't force me to live like one. Don't gentrify the neighborhoods and say I can't move out of my neighborhood. You understand? Don't stop me from getting a job so that I can better myself. Don't stop me from getting a passport so I can get up out the country and experience some real freedom. Don't stop me from being able, by laws and statutes and legislation, don't stop me at all with white supremacy and certain things that they have in law and Jim Crow and stuff like that. Don't stop me. Say what you want. But if you stop at my money and you stop at me from operating in the equality of the Constitution and the civil rights of people, then I have a problem with that. I could care less what somebody's saying. Somebody's saying what somebody is saying is not dictating anything, any policy in my life. Now, the real beef I have with other so-called Hebrews, so-called Moors, so-called black people is that you'll always have one black person that'll stand up and try to, for some reason, justify, explain, and cover the obvious bull that we all see clearly. And I am to the point where it's almost like, God, do we destroy these people? I am so frustrated with having to be in combat with people that are supposed to be going through the same exact struggle as you and I, but you got white supremacy talking points. You sitting up here defending the very system that's obviously killing all of us out here in these streets. Defending it. Not only defending it, explaining it. Not only explaining it, justifying it. And you sit up there and be like, boy, well, they did a job on your head. You can't see that if that officer was black, there by no hell reason they would let him out of jail. Do you know that that man would have been dead already? You sitting here talking about they're just doing their job and his security. Let me put my knee on the neck. This is not something I want to do. But let me put my knee on the neck of a white person for 3 minutes and they die. Not 10, 3 minutes. Maybe even put a bruise on their neck. I probably won't even make it to the jail, man. They burnt down a whole city behind this man. Do you get that? They burnt down a whole city behind this man's actions. Not only did they lose millions, but they put up millions to set him free. Now, if you don't see something wrong with that, I think you need to delete me. I think you need not to ever speak to me again, because I don't need people around me that are that retarded, that diabolical in your mind, where you think that that is even justifiable in the smallest degree. I have so much I can say on this topic, but I don't want to get over emotional. I'm just going to let out a little bit of the gas that I got in my heart right now. And I hope you have a nice day. Peace legends, peace queens, peace kings. B.O.L.O's out.